Hello and a good day all of you. Jean Henderson Pierre, the Beverage Ramble, back again with you. Another Beverage Ramble edition. Today, Samuel Adams, American Light. 4.2% ABV. I picked this up at Total Wine & More here in Dunwoody. Where I sometimes get some interesting things. Sometimes not so much. But I do go over there, sometimes get a cigar. So, reasonably priced. 4.2% as I mentioned, 7 IBUs. It's an American light lager. And another craft brewery doing a light lager again. What's going on here? Blue Moon, which is not a craft brewery, owned by Molson Coors, of course. They got the light, Blue Moon Light, which is like, even the regular Blue Moon itself, the Belgian wheat is very light as well. But be as it may, when I get that, I'll get to that. But anyway, another craft beer doing another. Of course, there's Sam Adams, one of the largest craft breweries in America. Jim Koch, to me, I think to me they're right up there with Budweiser and AB InBev and Molson Coors, and with the big boys, the top hat and the cigar. But he says I'm a craft beer guy. But anyway, here's what the beer looks like. Features a pleasant floral hop notes, balanced by light sweetness, perfect combo flavor, and easy drinking. So, a couple of craft lagers that I've tried: Peach State Light, which is, I think, was owned by Stillfire, but Stillfire Brewing Company still has its hands in it. Has its hands in that beer. Let's see. I did another brewery, Del Hingy. I did their light lager, 1883. I don't know what's going on. They just wanted to do a light beer, but I guess. But this is what's been popping up recently in a lot of these local craft breweries, not just locally here in the state of Georgia, but elsewhere. But anyway, this is what a beer looks like. Enough chatting, let's drink. Cheers. It's as it is. It is a light lager. I believe this came out this year. So been making its release all across the country. So I think it's, of course, perfect time. It is summer, as we are in now. So Boston Beer Company, of course. Mentioned Jim Koch. The Boston Lager, which is the flagship beer. Of course, they redid their recipe last year, and the response had been okay, but people said we're kind of scratching my hair, like I was, like, we really didn't have to change it. It was already a good beer as it is. But 4.2 is usually the standard ABV or lower, like Old Milwaukee Light, which is 3.8. Amstel Light is about 3.5, somewhere in that vein. But most of them are within that range of between 3 or 3.5 up till 4.3. Busch Light technically could be viewed. Regular Busch should be viewed as a light beer, in my opinion. That's light as it gets. Regular Busch, is 4.3, and they have Busch Light 4.1. So it's like really not much of a difference between those two. The history, I'm not going to go on the history of light beers. We all know, and then of course Miller Lite started in 1975. I as I've gotten older now, I do preferably prefer drinking something a little lighter now. These heavy beers, especially these heavy 9-8%, strong IPAs or pale ales, whatever, are just way too heavy for me. I do enjoy something light, Rolling Rock. that's as light as it gets. But I think that's at 4.5 ABV, a Rolling Rock. But that's a very, very light lager. To me, should be identified as a light lager, but it's not. Again, history of light beer, we all know people love beer, but they don't want all the excess calories, gut, all that. So, obviously, we've seen this, and then we've seen all these newer, other version light beers out. Corona Premier, as I mentioned, Blue Moon just now doing a light flight by Yingling. Modelo with Oro, another one that's really light. Heineken Silver, another one. Look, I'm going to try to be real, folks. Some of them don't really have good taste, in my opinion. But people like them and enjoy them because of what it does. And lighter the better. But again, I could find some other light beers that are less expensive, and I know they're just as good. Natural, Milwaukee's Best Light, Natty Light, of course. Keystone, Busch Light, as I mentioned, Old Milwaukee Light. And I know I'm not going to break the bank. I'll probably break the bank buying this. So, guess as is the same prices would be for their 6-pack of Boston Lager. Maybe run about, I'm guessing, I only bought a single, folks, so I'm glad I did. I'm guessing the price would be the same as Boston Lager. $9, $8.99, $10. So buy a sixer. If you can find it less expensive, then good luck to you. Not always the case, but so as far as this beer is concerned, I'll get to that beer in a little bit. So I mentioned same as with Boston Lager, Boston Beer Company. The Boston Lager is their flagship. The Summer Ale, which is also out right now, they do their Oktoberfest, which will be coming any day now, which is also very popular. Of course, their holiday stuff, the Old Fezwig, they got their chocolate stout, their Porch Rocker, which is also a very popular one in the summertime too. The Cherry Wheat is good. So Boston Beer Company puts out some good stuff. They've had some stinkers. The Sam 76, which was a epic disaster. That didn't do well with very few folks. It didn't do well with me. And now that's somehow gone into beer heaven, where I doubt that will come back again. So, look, I'm going to be fair. I mean, this is enjoyable. It's nothing awful about it. It's good. It's refreshing. It does somewhat have that little slight sweetness to it. 4.2. I definitely could crush this. Good 4 or 5, maybe more. Obviously, I'm eating food, of course, but it's okay. It's nice. Will I buy it and put in my apartment, or buy it as a standby? I don't know. As I said, the other lighter lagers that I mentioned, the more domestic ones, which I love these. I know the peach. One of the websites, I think it was the Peach State Light that I did, really was trashing these lowbrow American, light lagers, domestic brands that are just trash. Well, yeah, they're trash, but the bottom line looks pretty good for some of those companies, as I mentioned, and we haven't stopped buying them. I know I haven't stopped buying them. So, I got some Keystone Light in the fridge, so I guess that's going to be around for a while. We're not going anywhere. And if you look at the top 20 best-selling beers in the U.S., I would say about 12 of them. 12 of those beers would be 12 of the 20 will more likely would be light. Will be all light beers. So course, the best-selling one is right now, which, you know, I'm no fan of it, but, you know, if someone offered it to me, I'll get it, but no fan of it, and that's Michelob Ultra. Bud Light was number one, but looks like they're making their way back after a little, you know, situation they were going through 2 years ago. So it's like they've ride the wave back up. But anyway, I'm gonna be all right, fair on this one. I think this is all right. Will I buy this? No. Again, like I said, Keystone less expensive. Is what you get, what I get. So for the beer, for the American Light, I'm gonna go 8.2 on this one. So this is all right. 8.2 for the American Light by Sam Adams. Check it out at your local brewery. Try it. You'll like it. Definitely will. Who knows? Probably not, but oh well. John Henderson Pierre, the Beverage Rambletoon. Keep on watching as always. Cheers. Live, laugh, and love. American Light. Samuel Adams, Boston Beer Company. Enjoy. Yay.